Hi everyone, thanks so much for checking out this video. This is Jamie Lee Absolutely. I'm Jamie Lee, and on my channel I like to share lifestyle for real life. I share tips and tricks and products that I think the average person would like, and it'll level up your life a little bit. So if that sounds good to you, please remember to like and subscribe, leave me a comment. You can also find me on Instagram where I share more goodness. Today's video is about how to thrift effectively. I have been a bargain shopper for a long time. I like finding really nice things at a good price. And specifically today, I'm going to talk about secondhand and thrift store finds. You can call it consignment, secondhand, thrift, whatever vernacular it is. It's all good. It's all saving money. And it's also really good for the environment to reuse things instead of buying new things whenever possible. So I'm going to talk about mostly clothes and accessories because those are the things that I tend to thrift the most. But I think a lot of these tips are broadly applicable to anything that you might be looking for secondhand. If it's stuff for your home, if it's decorations, furniture, clothes, accessories, shoes, like I said, I think that all of these tips are pretty much applicable across the board. So we're going to start with a little bit of homework before we dive right into going to the thrift shop. You're going to start by going places you can't afford. I know, stay with me. I can hear you probably saying, but Jamie, I'm watching a video about thrifting. You're talking about thrifting. Why are you sending me to like Nordstrom or Anthropologie or somewhere like that it's out of my price range? Because I want us to get familiar with quality. You're never gonna recognize quality in the wild if you've only been surrounded by mediocrity, okay? Straight up. If you have only ever bought clothes at Old Navy or Walmart or Target or wherever, and also side note, I buy my clothes there. I think this shirt is from Old Navy. But if we're thinking about shopping for things that we couldn't afford retail, right? We're looking for those higher end items. You gotta know what they look like. You have to know how they're crafted. You have to know the quality of the fabric, of the weave, of the hem, of the buttons, of the zipper. You gotta know quality. You don't learn how to recognize counterfeit bills by spending time with counterfeit bills. If you work for the Treasury Department, for example, you spend time with real currency so you know the real deal when you're out in the world and you can tell real from crap. So preferably you're gonna go to these stores in person, like I said, so you can physically touch and feel and see the difference between an Old Navy t-shirt and let's say a t-shirt or a short sleeve top from like Banana Republic or Nordstrom or something like that. So if you have these higher end stores or boutiques in your town, I want you to go to them. I want you to walk in, look around, try things on, feel things, get a sense of that store, get a sense of that brand. Also, another quick side note, this is not the movie Pretty Woman where she gets laughed out of the boutique on Rodeo Drive. Okay, you have just as much of a right to be in there as everybody else. They don't need to know that you're not dropping $1,000 on a bag. You can just pick up the bag, you can look at it, you can try on the shoes, you can try on the dress, you can, feel the earrings, like just look around and get a sense. You may find a brand that you love that you would have never considered because you never walked into that store in the first place. So we are gonna familiarize ourselves, preferably in person, with quality and brands and styles and labels that you love. If you can only go online, that's fine too. Go to dillards.com, go to nordstrom.com, go to Net-a-Porter, go to, go to these websites, go to therealreal.com, look around and see what is trending, get to know what, Tom Ford is famous for making, or Diane Van Furstenberg, or Michael Kors, or whatever name brand you're kind of after, or whatever aesthetic kind of appeals to you. I want you to know that. We want to know quality, we want to know brands, and also another big perk of going to these stores in person is you're going to know your sizes and your fits and their characteristics. So again, for example, I know that I have a couple of Calvin Klein blazers and I know that they tend to run a little small. I don't have really broad shoulders, but I just find that Calvin Klein runs a little small. So if I'm out in the wild and I spot a suit jacket and it's only a size 6, I'm gonna say, I really would be more comfortable in an 8. So I know that. You're gonna know quality, you're gonna know brands, you're gonna know size, fit, and characteristics. That's your homework, that's your recon. You're gonna know what you can comfortably fit into, what is going to work in your wardrobe or in your closet, and then how to apply that when we actually do go to the thrift store. So step 2, find a shop. There are several thrift stores in the town that I live in, and I know some of them are better for certain things than others, right? So For example, there is a thrift store that benefits the hospice program, and they have been killer for like home goods, like kitchen supplies. I've gotten champagne glasses there. I think I found a couple martini glasses there. I've gotten vases. I've gotten mixing bowls. I've gotten great stuff for my kitchen. I've never found like something to wear or a pair of shoes. I've gotten books there. I've gotten like everything but clothes and accessories. So when I know that I want to hit up some clothes and accessories, I go to a consignment store in my town that I really like, that I know only buys like really high quality, really well-made stuff. So just kind of know your shops. Don't be afraid to try different neighborhoods. I mean, it's probably not PC to say this, but go to the nice side of town and check out their Goodwill or their hospice attic or their Salvation Army, whatever they have. If it's a more affluent neighborhood, chances are people who live in that neighborhood are driving to the nearest thrift store, consignment store, donating their stuff there, and then going. There's another consignment store in my town that tends to skew very young. They buy a lot of like newer, trendier clothes, a lot of like younger people things. So I don't ever really find anything for myself there, but I know like if my stepdaughters are like, oh, I want a pair of shorts, or I need a new skirt or a pair of boots or something, they're always gonna score at that particular consignment. So it's, again, a little bit more recon work, a little more homework, but it's so worth it to just know where to go and what to look for in those particular markets. Then step 3, once we're in our store, we're in our element, we are ready to dig like crazy, you guys. We are going to look at tags. We are going to look at brands. We are going to apply all of this homework knowledge that we had to our shopping trip, right? So for example, I really like Anthropologie. Sometimes I don't like paying for Anthropologie, but I know their house brands. So one of them is called Maeve. So if I just see a tag that just says Maeve, if I hadn't familiarized myself with the shop and with the website of Anthropologie, I may just skip right over that blouse. But oh, it's a Maeve blouse. I know this came from Anthropologie. I know it probably retailed for like $90 or $100. It's on the rack for $10. I'm gonna grab it if it's in my size. So also on the flip side, I was thrifting recently, and they had a sundress, and I was like, oh, it's a cute little sundress. And I look at the tag, and it was Time and True, which is a brand from Walmart. And I know that because I have a couple Time and True items, but when I look at the price, if it's comparable to what I would spend brand new for this dress in Walmart, why am I gonna buy it secondhand? And so that brings me to another really important point to keep in the back of your mind while you're thrifting or consigning. Is it discounted enough? And that is obviously a relative question. There's no one right answer to that, okay? You may fall in love with an item and say, I don't care, I'm just buying it. Whereas again, like with the sundress example I just gave, you have a sundress on the shelf for like $10, but I know I can go to Walmart and get the same dress for like $15 maybe. To me, it wasn't worth it when I could have the item brand new. It's accessible. It's not like some, brand that's rare and unique and I don't have 4 Walmarts in my city. Like, I could go get that same dress. So keep that in mind. Also keep in mind, people put the prices on this stuff. This isn't like in retail, right, where the design and the production and the manufacturing and the marketing and everything factor into the price. This is humans, often at a counter, especially at a consignment shop. They get stuff in, they somewhat arbitrarily decide how much that item costs. Perfect example, I was at, like I said, the kind of younger people's consignment store with my stepdaughter a couple weeks ago, and I saw a t-shirt that was like just kind of a basic, it said like Wild at Heart or something like that. It was kind of cute. It was cute. I looked at the tag, it was $6, and I looked at it again, and the tag said Five Below. So I know it was from the store Five Below, and chances are it only cost $5 because they have a big wall of t-shirts, and all those t-shirts are $5. So perhaps someone who purchased the shirt for the consignment store didn't know that shirt was really only retailing for $5. So I'm not going to turn around and pay $6 for it. That doesn't make any sense. So remember to keep the price in mind as you're browsing. We talked about tags, brands. Is it something that was high end at one time, or did it always kind of come from like a discount retailer, etc.? Another thing to look for when you're looking at items, let me grab my sweater. This is a sweater that belongs to me that I take to get dry cleaned. And so there's this handy little tag on the inside that's from a dry cleaner. If you spot an item while you're thrifting that has a dry cleaner tag on the inside, that means someone took care of that garment, right? Or drapes or whatever fabric you're shopping for, right? Someone took care, like I took care of this sweater. I really like this sweater, so I do take it to get dry cleaned. So if I were to go thrift it, someone else could look at that and say, oh, okay, it was really well taken care of. You know, it's still in really good condition. You can feel that it's been well taken care of. So that also means you need to look for holes, stains, rips, because there's nothing worse than finding this item that you love and you've scored and you're so excited, and then you turn it around and it's got like a huge coffee stain on the back or something. You want to really watch out for that. Now there's some stuff that it might be worth it to you to fix it, like just a loose button, or you can replace maybe some Velcro or a zipper or what have you. If you're handy, you can do it yourself, or maybe it's worth the few dollars to bring it to an alteration shop. Sometimes it's not. You know, I found a Diane von Furstenberg wrap dress that I absolutely love, and it had like a teeny tiny little hole in the armpit, but the dress was $10. So I said, it's worth it to me to spend a few minutes sewing a teeny tiny hole to get this dress for $10. That is such a steal. It is such a steal. So knowing the value of things, knowing the value of your time, and knowing a good seamstress or alteration shop in your town is also very, very important. Another thing, not to be Debbie Downer, but let's be realistic when we're thrifting, right? Is this item comfortable? Does this item work with clothes I already have? Do I have to buy, like if I find a blouse, right, and it's gorgeous and it's great, but I don't have a skirt or a pair of pants or anything that goes with it, I would have to buy those other items. That ain't worth it to me. It's just not. One time I was at a consignment store and I found these really funky, cool, green Marc Jacobs heels. They were so badass. I was like, I'm gonna look great in these. I was like, I'm gonna rock them. I am gonna look so cute. I put them on and it was like Cinderella's ugly stepsister, where her foot was like all bent up in the shoe. Like that was me. They were like a good size or half a size too small. And I tried to convince myself, I was like, I'll wear them. You know, I'll stretch them out. I'll wear them. I won't wear them for very long. I won't even notice. I won't notice that they're uncomfortable. I just had to put it back on the shelf, because no matter how good of a deal those heels were, if they're super uncomfortable, they don't fit, I am miserable wearing them, I'm either not going to wear them and then they're just gathering dust in my closet, or I'm gonna wear them and be in a cranky mood because my feet kill me. So remember to be realistic. Don't force it just because it's a good find, okay? So like, again, those $20 or whatever they were Marc Jacobs heels in this great color were not a good deal for me. I pray that the next woman who has smaller feet than I do, who went in and found those heels, she loved them and she wore them to pieces. So I really appreciate you guys taking this time to listen to my tips on how to thrift effectively. Let me know down in the comments if you have any other hacks or any ideas that you have when you shop secondhand or discount, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, bye.